What?
Okay, shalom and good day all. This is Tehillim29 along with Tevye and Comic Boom
Hello.
on the Super Sons
Okay.
Fortress of Attitude live stream.
Yep.
And today,
Yep. There was a super motion card.
we are going to be covering Superman, Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep. Super motion card series. One of the best achievement sword of all time. The DCU.
Yep, and there's 8 issues to this run.
Yep.
So we're going to have a bit of a longer stream than previous. So it could reach the 2-hour mark. Could reach. It doesn't mean it will reach, but it could reach.
It's possible. Nice.
We also hope you have fun and enjoy, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification bell.
Yep.
So if you enjoy these broadcasts, you can come back for more.
Yep. Oh, who just started?
Would you like to start us off, Tevye?
Yeah, I'll start. Okay. Backstory. Basically, this series takes place after Convergence, which, okay, as we mentioned before, Convergence itself was a complete fuck mess. However, the one kid that came out of that minefield of a train wreck of a series is that we got this series. And this story told us the story of Pre-52 Superman, Pre-52 Gold Train, and their son, John, from the Pre-52 universe. Because as I mentioned before, this series is about the Convergence. And Convergence, so, with what the fuck. So, it started off in issue 1, started off with a flashback to the very beginning of the New 52. Kind of. Where we see Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, and New 52 by Darkseid, with someone narrating. And I quote, I remember it like it yesterday. We only been here a day or so. Entire world new to us. Them familiar but still very young. Unaccustomed to sheer power they were confronting. This rampant hoper they was. Not my Superman, but Superman nonetheless. Yep. And it's one of the now in general, you'll find out. Yeah, we see Cyber ready to the boom tube. And we see the Superman. The Pre-52 Superman back live kicking. I would show you, but it's show you because it's a trait. Yeah. It's already also ready looking at the battle. This day I'm making your back. My husband with the magazine wave is stepping in. For me, says Superman. Yep. And we see the Superman had to fly away with the 2 jets trying to track him down. With Lois said, I quote, "Did ever still do it from our own? Suspicious, dying, edgy, without faith." That sounds familiar, doesn't it? No, negative relevance. We don't fully glad all the differences, but we knew we couldn't let them know about us, about our baby. Yep. Yeah, basically, as I said, this story takes place near the beginning of the New 52, where we see New 52 Superman, New 52 Justice formed the Justice League to put down the Darkseid. With Superman, Superman's quote that inexperienced but obvious, but would point out. Cyber team with the League said Titans. I never get used to this word. Yep. But I'll be bad. You know, we can let the include maybe, but less include. Aww. Yep. That's what I thought I should have been looking at the covering there because they know where they're on and they can't have a jet. It's so cute. Yep. Oh, by the way, they all do at the weapon convergence at the end of the issue. We see reading Quango at the with the baby. When me and John mentioned we had to turn up to Brainiac over a brain never even knew existed. I send out to any of you one. couldn't go one way. Not when they were under an infinite number other than needed at first. Took everything we had and more, but we did it. With the engine on defeat, time and the multiverse, we said so. Wait, wait. What is the bug again at the anti-monitor that we didn't get to see in Convergence? I'm still wondering what how you know happened in that battle. Right? Because in order to cause nerves, the cutting image still happens. I'm still confused about that. Combo question. In this issue, they open the cutting image with Convergence, but at the end of the crisis, we got post-crisis. So it couldn't even never happened. When I mean, my brain hurt trying to figure out this post-convergence stuff. I'm confused. Come on, you explain.
If you're asking me to explain Convergence, the ending of Convergence, and how it fits into the rest of the DC universe, that is going to be very, very difficult because there was some confusion there. The way I reconcile it is leading into the story, Superman and Lois and Clark 8-issue series that we're talking about. Basically, at the end of Convergence, Brainiac had asked all the various heroes from different universes to go back and fight in the original Crisis and defeat the Anti-Monitor, and they did. And as part of rewarding them, Brainiac returned all the heroes to wherever they wanted to go in the universe. And Superman wanted to take Lois and John, his son. He wanted to stay on the New 52 Earth. Yeah. That's what starts off with Superman, Lois, and Clark. And that's where and in order for them to stay on the New 52 Earth, they had to stay in hiding. And they went by the names of Clark and Lois White, and they lived and Superman. And when I say Superman, I mean Superman. I don't mean the New 52 Superman. He was originally Superman, and he wore a black suit, and he basically spied. He was like a ghost. He spied on the rest of the DC universe, and he sort of stayed in the shadows, helping them out. And I really like that premise, and I love the fact that this series starts off with him watching them fight Darkseid. Just like Jeff Johns' first original Justice League series, where they fought Darkseid and Cyborg was involved. And I really like the fact that sort of the Superman he's the shadow in the background, and he helps out when needed, but he doesn't interfere unless he absolutely has to. Yeah. And I love that aspect of it. And to me, it makes him more heroic. And I love that he feels that this world, the New 52, he also sees that it's darker and edgier, and he sees that he doesn't like it as much as his own world. But to me, that gave the series a lot of gravitas. Him and Lois working in the background as a reporter trying to take down Intergang, and Superman trying to take down and prevent the villains from developing like they did on his world, like Cyborg Superman. And I really thought it was very well done as an opening issue.
Same here. This opening issue, my man, is fantastic. I don't know, but this story takes place. I don't know, it takes a few years. Well, it shows the Bible to the Darkseid first, but then we come back. We fast forward to a few years later. We see John, a little boy, with the dog, Ranger. Yeah, Ranger. That's adorable.
Yeah, there is some wonderful art in this first issue alone, including the cover.
The cover is fantastic.
Was it also Weeks that did that cover too? I forget.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Lee Weeks did do the cover.
Yeah. Best cover, especially if you compare it with the variant. This one makes it stand out the most.
Yeah, that cover is the cover of the trade.
Yeah, Lee Weeks did all the covers for, maybe not all the variants, but he did all the regular covers.
Yep. Like, I remember this story came in the DCU era, and DCU, I never for DC. Oh, issue 8, I love the cover. Yeah. And this story came in the DCU era, and DCU era was bad. DCU was a complete clusterfuck of an era that made no sense. It was crazy over continuity, and it made no sense. Right? The two good in the DCU era was Robinson and Batman and this book. That's it. Real Robin, garbage. Robin War sucks. Avoid it. Don't read it. It's not what you're trying. It's just nonsense.
Yeah. What I like about this series is writer Dan Jurgens did a really good job here. Every single one of these 8 issues, in each individual issue, it starts off with a flashback of Lois and Clark White in the past when John Kent was really young, 3 or 4 years old. And every issue starts off the same way with a flashback to the past and then coming to the present. And the first 4 issues end with showing some reference to the Oblivion Stone, and the Oblivion Stone was that stone that was essentially taken by Hank Henshaw when he was an astronaut out in space outside the moon of Jupiter. And by the end of the first issue, Hank Henshaw comes back to Earth, and Superman saves his life. And we find out later takes him to the Fortress of Solitude, or his new fortress in the Himalayan mountains, and keeps him safe. And meanwhile, Lois is looking into Intergang. And so right away, right out of the gate with the first issue, we have the narrative structure that Jurgens has already set up. He's already set up what the stakes are. He already gives Superman a meaning and a purpose because he's trying to prevent people from becoming villains that he knows will become villains because he is an older Superman. He's got the beard and everything. Yep. And Lois wants to take down Intergang. She knows things about Intergang from being from the other universe. So she knows something that the New 52 Lois and Clark do not. And it's a really fantastic setup. And I remember being so excited when I was reading it. And yeah, it was really, I really liked the way each issue was structured. It really worked very well.
Yep, I agree. Right? Issue 1 of my research everything is awesome. Hank Henshaw, chronologically, Hank Henshaw in New 52 never even existed in New 52. If he did, then I never seen him in New 52 and ever interact. So I definitely first I see Hank Henshaw in a long time. And so not for the it was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I tell you, one thing we never got to see at the end is we never see his crew. Because it looks like his crew is not with them. So either his wife is dead, which makes sense because Hank Henshaw always does, or option B, he abandoned his own crew and left him to die with the alien lady who shot this alien's head off, which there is a quote.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to his crew. That's a good point. I just assumed that his crew was killed or something. It was never made clear how he ended up with the Oblivion Stone. It never made sense to me. And it was never made clear how the other half of the Oblivion Stone was in Superman's Fortress of Solitude in the Himalayan mountains. It was never explained how Superman ended up with half of it, and Hank Henshaw ended up with the original half out by Jupiter of all places. That was never really explained. And unfortunately, the Oblivion Stone mystery wasn't really satisfactorily resolved because it was kind of a plot line that was never really adequately resolved, because when they did Rebirth, they kind of abandoned that storyline, and Jurgens wrapped it up in a very haphazard fashion, which is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, but at the same time, no, I get what John with you. That was not the main point of the story. The main point of the story was Superman family. The Riverstone stuff was more second. Well, actually, the Riverstone didn't make a comeback and actually kind of Rebirth. That did come back. Superman Revenge Squad story. It did make a comeback when Hank had to eat the Riverstone but he returned them back to the side of Superman. Yeah. Why would Hank say, why did you become Cyber Superman again? Maybe because he said, screw it. I don't want to become human again. I want to become Cyber Superman to get my revenge. Yeah. Because he's that crazy. Which makes sense, but Cyber Superman is a pretty jerk. Speaking of Cyber Superman, I think maybe a Supergirl. Well, not hanging out with Cyber Superman. No, this is different Cyber Superman. Okay. First, I'm really confused. backstory. During New 2, when he gets over Superman, I'm a super good father. Why would he summon Superman in New 2? I don't know. It would summon Superman in New 2 would be clusterfuck that even I couldn't explain it. I don't know why there's a super good father summon Superman. It was weird. And super good story in New 2 would be clusterfuck.
Well, we might as well start to make a move on to the second issue.
Yeah, because
we've got 8 issues overall to go through.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. There's one issue 1 where John and I'm at school look at the shuttle, and you got to catch up with the teacher. That's adorable.
Yes, and little John being very tech savvy, watching what his dad's up to.
Yep. Father or son?
Love the cover for the second issue.
Yep. Nice.
Probably one of the best in this run because you got all the family together.
Yeah. Issue 2 on the guy love that cover. And it's adorable. Yeah, it's so John I do with the tire iron and set it over the gun to protect them visual. The card is Glad Anderson and Lee Weeks.
Yeah, and in this one we get more flashbacks, as Comic Boom mentioned before.
Yep, with John as a baby. He's adorable.
Yep. Do one of their neighbors, Mr. Montgomery?
Yep. I know where we went to. Oh, I know you did, Lois. The husband about the hard work I've had from the show. Seeing your old friend of mine?
I'm wearing shorts.
Why did you give a ferry? The body cut up. Wait. John is wearing like a weed. Aw, that's so cute.
Would you like to cover this issue, Comic Boom?
Yeah. This issue is I liked it. We got to meet the neighbors. We got to meet Mr. Montgomery, Sheldon Montgomery. We later find out his wife, Sheldon and Christy Montgomery, they're the neighbors. They would later babysit John while in issue 4 when Lois and Clark would go on a date to check out Metropolis, which they normally have been avoiding. Mr. Montgomery wants help building a fence, but Clark, of course, he's addressing an earthquake in Chicago, which is caused by a character called Shockwave, which Clark strips him of his armor and defeats him. And he once again references that adjusting to this new 52 Earth is difficult because it's filled with fear and suspicion. And you get a sense when this came out, a lot of people. Rebirth was on the way, and people were suspecting the new 52 was not popular, and more.
Garbage.
Yeah, and you began to see more expressions in the comic book about how darker the new 52 was, and Superman himself expresses that in this comic, and so does Lois, and he even says that he can't even trust the authorities because things are just more difficult, and. We get further developments. A character by the name of Mr. Chambers is at the Excalibur crash site. Excalibur is the spaceship that Hank Henshaw was traveling in with the Oblivion Stone. That crash site, Mr. Chambers arrives at, and he sees that there's nobody there. Unbeknownst to him, Superman took Hank Henshaw and took him to his fortress to sort of keep him safe and to address what's going on. Meanwhile, there's another flashback with Lois. Lois working at the Daily News, and John was in trouble. John got in trouble at school because he broke a window, and you see some early manifestation of John's powers because he hits the baseball too hard and breaks the window. So slowly you get some hints that he's a little bit more powerful, and his powers are always connected to his emotions. And he's got bullies, and he's got he's bullied a little bit, and he gets a little bit upset, and he gets in trouble, and he's with the principal's office.
Yeah.
And what I like about this is that John is very inquisitive, and he's very curious, and he gets that from his mother Lois.
Yeah, it's adorable.
And it's a very well-written scene where he's very inquisitive about things, and he asks a lot of questions. And John's inquisitive and curious nature will come back to haunt Lois and Clark as the story progresses, and as Intergang gets closer to Lois to find out who Lois White is. And it really plays an interesting role between John becoming more curious about what's going on in his parents' life, and he has a lot of questions, and then that affects him emotionally, and that emotional impact on him affects the realization of his powers as the story progresses.
Which, you don't really find out actually issue 7 and 8, but we'll get to that later. But speaking of Intergang does try to get a hit on Lord and John, and oh boy, that gets dark, because Intergang are, well, they're really like assholes, they're really like mobsters, which I think Intergang are always mobsters in their version, because they also alien tech. Why do they steal alien tech? Because they're mobsters, they're gangsters, they're criminals. Yep. Oh, speaking of John, I think John T. Time is not the guy. That's funny. No.
Any favorite scenes or panels within the issue?
Yeah.
Even as you reread it?
Take that Intergang, and take all the weapons. It's pretty cool, and the rest of Johnny Lloyd was pretty adorable. Awesome. But I think one of my favorite panels when John, he actually is the parent conversation.
My favorite scene is when Lois and John are run off the road by Intergang's hitmen.
Yeah.
Lois frantically tries to call Superman Clark on her cell phone, and she says Protocol Omega. And Protocol Omega means that they've been discovered, and it's an emergency call, Protocol Omega. And she manages to incapacitate one of the hitmen, and she's worried that John's going to get hurt. And she looks around, and only to discover that John has hit one of the hitmen with a tire iron and knocked him out. And you don't see John do that, and so you're not sure if John uses superpowers or not. And I love the way Dan Jurgens wrote that scene, because you don't know if John just got lucky or if did John use his superpowers. You don't really know, and I love the way it makes the reader curious, because as you're reading it, we're waiting for John to exhibit some superpowers, and he doesn't at that time, but he sort of teases it, and I really like how that scene was played out.
Yeah, I love that scene too. That's adorable, because we don't know Johnny had power in the series, but in this issue, that's a pretty cool mystery in my opinion.
Well, not only that, it too is also sort of like one of my favorite scenes within the comic, because it's sort of like family emergency related, get here fast. And what does Superman do?
Get awesome. Like stealth tactics. Cool.
So it's good to see that they had that plan in place, even within the story, and it makes the story even more interesting, even more exciting.
Yeah.
It's the bread and butter. That makes it more important.
Yeah.
And also seeing what does happen to Intergang in it. But this isn't the end of it yet. There's still more to come.
Intergang is not done yet. Oh, speaking of bands that we never had about Shockwave. Well, Shockwave one is villain that I never heard of this guy. I think he's a new villain, and the new villain he looks weird. That's one question I never answered with Shockwave. Like, why do you want to destroy the Chicago area? What was his deal? Maybe he did a deal with him. Who knows?
We also
Dan Jurgens, he used Shockwave just like he used a couple other characters for. I think he just wanted to. He used some characters just to show that Superman was very busy and was always being distracted. Later on in the series, he ends up getting distracted because he has to help people on a bridge with another character. I forget his name, or Blackheart or Black.
Well, Black actually done make a comeback.
Yeah.
And but this guy
BlackRock.
is insane. I mean, she just like Black, like Manchester, is psychotic. But then Manchester, he's had a goal. Black, he didn't give it out any. All he cared about is himself. Like this is art. Army destruction. Also, then is you cut the way with the way you want the bourbon service. The bourbon service. Where is it? Good. William, unbeatable. Out your way. Yeah. One, the ship, the bottom, one, the stone, there was a mistress, the definition, the soul system. And that's what issue 2 ran literally with this. What I really want the bourbon stone. The old space stuff in my opinion, does make sense because Hank Henshaw stole the bourbon stone. And then we don't know why he had the bourbon stone, but that's the one question we'll get to later. But the main point in general actually is with Clark and Lois, and my personal opinion is my favorite moment when Superman over the top we get that saving on. With like Superman said, quote, what I'm saying? Yeah, I can tell it went through everything they had. Never cool, you wasn't play old guy, good look at you. I think they take a left ball you have to your mirror color. With no clue with me. Someone that got wind of the book you're writing. There's not nothing to prevent it from being published. Maybe that's program mayor. Or typicons. But we don't have to run. Anyway. Let's cover. Where my head's off. I don't know what to think. And we got the guy out there, the agent guy, but they want to wear handcuffs. Which, okay, this government person, we still don't know what this guy deal. I still don't know what this guy deal is, and this guy sounds like a jerk. Then it makes sense because this dude was always this dark, suspicious, and not fun to actually be in that universe. None of can't trust anyone. The government didn't trust any of the heroes. Kind of like the open universe. The opening event and the main and the New 52 have both in common. All the heroes are jerks. Weird. Ryan?
Well, we might as well start to move into issue 3.
Yeah. With
at the end of what is it? Issue 2, we see the Kun's relation to the Oblivion Stone.
Yeah, who get torn in half. Literally.
And I think it would sort of imply in the story that Hank Henshaw played a part in taking it from there.
Yeah, he probably stole it.
Yeah.
His crew is probably dead going over there before the crew abandoned while they were going to put stones down.
With the 3rd issue, as we start to come into it, it looks like we're entering some desolate territory, but also comes across like a bit of a war zone at the beginning.
Yeah, several years ago, it's in our flashback where we see him fight the new man in black. Black or blank? I usually not black. Or blank. And this guy, I remember, is freaking nuts. You can tell by everything like Manchester. Manchester, this guy is psychotic.
Yeah, this guy's name is Blank, and It starts off in a place called Rusty Ridge. It's a small Midwestern town, and he's completely destroyed it. Superman mentions that he's destroyed many other small towns before, and Superman confronts him, and a completely new villain. This is a villain that Superman has never faced before, and it's a new challenge for Superman because he thinks that he's probably aware of all the villains on the universe because he figures they're all going to be the same as in his old universe, but they're not. This is the new 52 universe, and it has new villains. Yep. And I like how he defeats Blank. He flies Blank into space, but rather than let Blank die, Superman captures him and takes him prisoner in his fortress, and that's basically the flashback story. And I was a little bit my criticism of this issue is that I really thought that the weakness of the story in this third issue is that Blank is using his telepathy, and Superman seems oblivious to it for quite some time. I thought it was really sloppy on Superman's part to just try to. He's just using a neural nullifier on his brain, but on Blank's brain, but it obviously doesn't really work very well. Because years later, when he finally puts Hank Henshaw in the fortress after Hank Henshaw crashes his Excalibur spaceship on Earth, Hank Henshaw, because he has the Oblivion Stone, for some reason that makes him susceptible to Blank's telepathy and telekinesis. And Blank escapes the fortress and wreaks havoc, and of course attacks Superman again. And and that's this issue I thought was the least interesting out of all of them, although it was a necessary setup. I think Blank was an interesting villain that, curiously enough, I don't think we haven't really seen him a lot since. We saw him once for a couple times after that, I think, in Action Comics, but then that was about it. And then the final page. Sorry, I note the final page is the reference to the Oblivion Stone again, and a Dominator who is being interrogated by a woman who is seeking the stone, but we don't know who that woman is yet. It will later be revealed that that woman is, of course, the villain by the name of Hiathus. She's the one who's looking for the Oblivion Stone, and is this rather upset to discover that it's been broken into two parts.
Yeah. Speaking of the stone, you know, Brian, after we saw Brian and Amendment before, he had been acting on Rebirth, and after General Zod, putting the 11 family to space, I think he died? Question mark? It was never really clear on the blank. I think Brian Marvin, he died in Rebirth. I don't remember. What is shame because Brian was very into villain, he's very cool like the new antagonist. I do like them. Yes, he's not completely Manchester, but it was still way better villain than Red Cloud or Leviathan. Hey, Bennett, when you create a new villain, why not create a new villain to NJ Blank? Oh, I have an idea. Blank versus Leviathan. Let them kill each other. And then when Blank kills Leviathan, he takes over. I'll be all for that because that's a very cool insane idea. It's better than the thing that we have with Leviathan.
You mean like making Blank the Leviathan the person?
Yes.
That would be actually a little bit better than what he's already said.
Leviathan.
In what is in present Superman run. Some nice small scenes within within that last issue. Of course, Little John being told off again, getting his discipline.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Check, I got bit back as I hit the ditch.
I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't call that last issue sort of like the best cover issue, but same would probably even apply for the next. Just regular.
Yeah. Like, issue 3 cover Batman is good, but it's not my favorite cover out of all the covers. It's still great though. Mhm.
Variant is bloody nice.
Yeah, the very end. Okay. Okay, I tell you what.
Especially for the 4th issue.
Did you want to do characters? I mean, here, put card over the other. But machine gun? It went down by the. Even the trying to have it bread. Aw. Like, I can move part of how you have yourself. Like, this is why y'all shouldn't go out the cover, in my opinion. Because this book, only issue 4 with Mankind Job.
Yep. So we now move into issue 4.
Wait, we gotta skip issue 3 when we see the new for Sergeant. You know, the mountain for Sergeant?
Yeah, and in this one again, we also get another bit of a flashback. And our favourite couple together.
Oh, no, wait, actually, before we go to issue 4, there's one that we read out issue 3. The introduction of Bruce Manheim. You know, the leader of Inter Gang?
Yeah.
Like, I completely forgot which part, but at the end of issue 3, we introduced Bruce Manheim, the leader of Inter Gang.
Yeah, Bruno Mannheim is the leader of Intergang. He kills some of the hitmen who failed to successfully kill Lois and John at the end of issue 2.
Yep.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
It had a little bit of accident, and he killed him with the I think speaker or radio. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very
at the beginning of issue 4, Lois and Clark are in Metropolis essentially on a date. They've let Christy and Mr. Montgomery take care of John, to babysit John. So they go to Metropolis for the first time in a long time. They don't normally go to Metropolis because they need to stay away from Metropolis in case they get recognized. They accidentally run into Jimmy Olsen, but Jimmy Olsen is preoccupied. He's on a date. And they also end up buying John his very first Superman shirt, because around this time it is a flashback sequence, and John is
4 years old.
I'm guessing he's around 3 or 4 years old at this time.
He's
4 years
old. They explain that he's 4 years old. Yep.
And they also make reference to how the new 52 is a darker universe again, and that they has concerns over Lois or over Luthor, and he doesn't trust Luthor in any universe, obviously.
Yeah.
There's also a reference to Bibbo. And also, and so that was really the flashback sequence. And I think what's interesting about this issue is that we see, when we flash forward to the present, we see John Kent very, very curious again. He's just like his mother. Young John Kent is doing research at the school, and he's doing research. And he can't figure out why there's no news of them being attacked, and why didn't Lois and Clark obviously had to lie to their son because they never revealed it to the police. But John is very curious. Why aren't the police involved? Why is there no news about us being attacked? And it's basically John being very, 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 very curious. And writer Dan Jurgens does a really good job of showing John's development as a young boy. And he loves his parents, but he's also emotional, and he's upset, and it's a little bit traumatizing for him, and he's struggling with it, and it's just another very good continuation of young John Kent's development in this series.
Yeah, he's like, boy. That's funny. Come here now. And as we're going to find the notes that we have it with a knife that stab into it. Which, yeah, somehow they found ability off of Indian kidnap ability rolled to his contact named Cora. You find out. Oh yeah. Also during the present, we also say two men see guys ain't revealed. Man still dwell among the day front report card cat by Lois Train. Yeah. Okay. Backstory. Basically, if you want about that new favorite thing, here's the thing about that. That took place in New 52 and New 52 got Daniel revealed. I am not kidding you, that did happen. Why did this happen? Because New 52 Superman got Daniel revealed because of this new villain named one Man Savage children who a computer guy who blackmailed Clark Kent and New 52 tried to save him by bringing danger to the world. That backfired, and it's a whole thing. It's the one my children, Superman Truth. Here's my short opinion. Superman Truth was garbage. It was one of the worst New 52 stories ever after the new Superman Truth over beginning. Which, okay. Why did everyone want to listen against the world? It always blows my mind we keep getting the same crap story over and over and over again. Carry out with Spidey's Gwen Stacy. Oh my God, you're saying most Spider-Man and Superman at the same bomb. They keep having the same story repeated over and over and over again. Spider-Man's Gwen Stacy keeps coming back to life with clones. Superman is then getting revealed. It's like a never-ending cycle of bullshit. No one get the weapons? No, just me. Cover? Alright. Thoughts?
There's a number of small good scenes within the issue, especially when you do see Lois and John together.
Yeah, when she's with the John.
I thought one of the more crazy scenes was Lois very stupidly goes back to her publisher's place, Cora, and Cora, she had to have known that Intergang was keeping an eye on Cora, because she had to have known that that's how Intergang found out her location was from Cora, and yet she very stupidly goes to Cora's Metropolis address, and she takes her son John with her. That was totally stupid. I think Lois is not that stupid. I thought she was written a little bit out of character. Lois even admits later in the issue that it was a really stupid thing that she did. Yeah. I thought that was a little bit forced. So I'm being critical of that aspect of the story, but it was just done to create some drama, because when she's leaving Cora's residence, she bumps into Mannerheim, and of course that's when he says gotcha, because he knows obviously that who she is, and then of course they know that it's Lois White, and they know it's Lois and Clark White and John, and eventually they're going to hunt them down, and that happens in a subsequent issue I think 6 or 7, but in any event, it continues to build the drama. Yep. Meanwhile, Blank escapes at the fortress, and they have a big fight at the fortress in the Himalaya mountains. And Blank actually defeats Superman, drops a mountain on him, and he talks about traveling to California to kill Lois and John. And once again, the last scene of the issue, the last page, just like in the previous issues, the last page deals with another reference to the Oblivion Stone, and this time it shows a scene near the sixth moon of Jupiter, Europa, and an abandoned space station with this mistress, this unknown woman who would later be revealed to be Haitha, finding out that the Oblivion Stone is on Earth, and she calls Earth a little mud ball that she's going to tear apart to get the stone. And so it ends once again with teasing the Oblivion Stone. So overall, I thought it was this particular issue 4. I actually I enjoyed it. It was still not my favorite issue, but the better issues are still to come.
Yeah. I love issue 4. Issue 4 was a great story, but even Lois, I think Adam, yes, she had a character, but sometimes she we said, alone in the house, she took away with the contact. With that, I know, I'm not her side. She made it a bad year, but I think she didn't know Cole was going to kidnap an intergame. She said she's going to meet at the publisher with John, and that was the plan. But then that plan went to shit. But the man showed up, and even had a gun that knew what to do protect her own son. I think it's pretty badass and awesome. Which Blue Man just find out, which will get to issue 5. But speaking of the current, as I mentioned before, this story takes place in New 52, then the True Part, which as I said before, the True Part in New 52 is a disaster. We don't want to get this story. But we did see Blank, Blank. Boy, Blank, I don't know, is freaking nuts. He's psychotic. And like Manchester, is insane. And when John acknowledges it, I think it's awesome.
Not only that, it can also show how dangerous that character can be, even against Superman.
Yeah.
Even in a situation where he was in. And if we're ready, we can move on to issue 5.
Yep. Actually, I want to add issue 4. I can be what's the thing on the Superman connection when they show the Superman at the end of the video. Okay?
I don't know. Yeah.
What was that, Tavier?
In this story. Oh, I mean, you can hear me. Yeah,
No, I just get too much of an echo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. Basically, in issue 4, they left the New 52 Superman secret identity getting revealed.
Oh, you mean early in the story where they see about Superman's identity being revealed?
Yes.
Yeah. When John and Lois, I think mainly John discovers that.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
This entire storyline takes place during the Truth storyline of the New 52.
Yeah.
I'm not referring to Bendis's Truth storyline, obviously, but it was during the time when the New 52 Lois reveals the New 52 Superman secret identity to the world. And that plays a role in this issue because it just later on it reinforces the fact that the New 52 Lois and Clark are very different than the New 52 Lois and Clark in this series, and that it just underscores the differences about how different the New 52 is from the Rebirth universe.
Yeah, the New 52 had been put with what the fuck, and the true arc with the fun in the New 52 man. That book was garbage. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's too big a buzz cut, and then I do a motorcycle, became edgy, became the 90s. And it was garbage. It was a bad story from day one. What basically Superman did to make it more power, make it more Edgewood? Why did every old 90s crap always come back to haunt me? Because it's like we're back in the 90s all over again. Except somehow much worse. Which, I'm like, wait. No, I'm getting sidetracked. Like, back on track. Like, as I said, the true part of my manipulation is a garbage fire. Thankfully, we got this story out there out of Nightmare, and the story is great. And I'm actually happy we did get elephant at the funny because it makes sense. I put the Livingstone stuff, okay, but the Livingstone stuff I didn't care about. I just said, weird ending, okay. But that is a good up to the Livingstone. Saying that the Livingstone, one time is gone now. However, the time put the man include at the went. What can show the small ship left this thing years ago. No one had been there since. F. So apparently this station I've been on Jupiter for years. I have a question about that. If this station has been on Jupiter for years and Hank Shaw stole the shuttle, stole the Brimstone, and flew all the way back to Earth, and then all the crew's dead, then what killed the crew? I suppose it was these people, that's why they killed them, but I doubt that. My best guess made the Brimstone killed the crew, because this station had been at the abandoned for years. Meaning, Hank Henshaw been in space for years, and now we're on Earth in this series. Okay, I have a question about that. When did this happen? How did this happen? And why was Hank Henshaw on the station? These are questions that we never answered, did we?
Well, that's part of the central mystery is what happened to Hank Henshaw, what happened to the Excalibur spaceship, what happened to the station, how did the Oblivion Stone get split into two, how did Superman says he discovered his half of the Oblivion Stone in the fortress. That was never revealed how he discovered it. It was never revealed how Hank Henshaw ended up with it. As a matter of fact, what was really odd is that when Superman takes Hank Henshaw to his fortress in the Himalayas, he never thinks of checking Hank Henshaw's pockets, because if he checked his pockets, he kept the Oblivion Stone in his pocket, for God's sakes. So what's astonishing to me is Superman is so smart, yet he's so stupid that when he takes somebody to his own fortress, it doesn't seem to occur to him to maybe, frisk the person that you're storing in your fortress to make sure they're not hiding any weapons of some kind. So there's, again, it's a little bit of a inconsistency in the writing. I think the writing could be a little bit better, but overall, I thought Jurgens did a reasonably good job of creating some mystery there.
Yeah, I agree. They did an excellent job with the mystery. Even the mystery, we never get answers to the mystery. But you know what? This mystery makes a lot more sense than the whole reviving stuff. Because reviving by Bennett, that wasn't a mystery. That was issues of crap that went nowhere. Because you're reviving, I'm reviving, and then it went to Mark Shaw. I don't know Mark Shaw. I'm good at my man.
Yes, that was terrible storytelling on Brian Michael Bendis' behalf. At least we get to avoid it here.
Yeah.
But like I said, I always recommend his Jinx World over his DC.
Yeah. I read Jinx World Indy. Oh yeah, issue 5.
Yes, let's make a start on issue 5, because after that we've got very few left to complete in the run.
Yep.
Hi to anyone that's still here, that's still participating in the stream, especially in the chat.
Yeah. Issue 5, I love issue 5. I love the initial flashback scene in issue 5 deals with Batman. I love what it reveals that Superman is feeling lonely. I think he misses being part of the Justice League. I think he misses his old friends. And I think, he alludes to that. And it's clear that Clark misses not having some friends. And he mentions that Lois is working below her skill level. She's not writing as much as she would like. John is about to start school. And I love how he makes comments about Batman. And he watches the Batman. He makes comments that this Batman of the New 52 is faster and and he ends up saving Batman's life by burning an arrow with his heat vision. And you get the idea that Batman is aware that somebody saved his life, but he doesn't know who it is. And but it was just a lovely callback because you really get the sense that this Superman he really is sort of like it reminded me of the movie Man of Steel, where he's the ghost hero, where he's flying around and he's helping people, just like in the movie Man of Steel, where Clark is going around the world helping people, and Lois Lane in Man of Steel is doing is looking for this mysterious helper, and it was a very well done flashback.
I agree. This Batman is presented because as the shipment's okay with Batman. Because only previous, which we're gonna take this book, video the credit for day one, but this story I think shows you to care about Batman, and all the sort of partners that this guy is a little bit younger. He's still Batman. Carries him out doing fights the same way of the master. He has not really young enough though. Even with all that skill. We need help. Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool fight. I mean, you see, I think Clark and this human, you can't really don't win. Okay, that is pretty normal. Yep. There you go. That's him, he did Bruce Wayne. Only called him because Superman. My opinion. He need a friend. He understand me. It's okay, Clark. I wonder what they did in his house. Which John's going to find out since he's about to start school. Tell me, baby, I'm not telling me. No, but the kind of man you've been looking for weeks ago, so.
Yeah, it's also nice to see in this issue that we see a small birthday around John Samuel Kent as well. Again, back to its own flashback.
Yeah.
As we get to see him grow up in this world and some of the things that the family is about to experience together.
Yeah.
Once again.
Normal. Yeah, so John Mays probably go and we got the cute.
Love them. Well, love her.
So the day we were on, I did what I could make all right happy. Yeah. And we go into the president with Superman so trapped at the under level. Thanks, Blake. Jerk. Yeah. I'm so glad to get the kids like that. Awesome.
And of course, you can see how much he loves the shirt that his parents got for him.
Yeah, near the flashback. That's adorable.
Scott's dad said.
And I'm gonna be like, we're Jewish. We're just being funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of great callbacks to the issue, and there's a lot of connective tissue in issue 5 that draws in a lot of the things established in the previous issues. And of course, the gift, the Superman shirt for young John is part of that, and also we also once again get the Montgomerys. Sheldon and Christy Montgomery are there at the birthday party, so you get a sense of the family and the unity that they've established for themselves in Northern California, which is where they're at. Also, I should mention that the address of their property is 1938 is the number on their mailbox, which of course is the same year that Superman debuted in Action Comics in 1938, in June of 1938. So there's a lot of great callbacks there, and even their last name White, Lois and Clark White. White is also a name that reference newspapers.
Hey, White.
Lois works for the Daily Planet, so it was pretty well done. And when they show the present again, and Superman is in the fortress. Lois is calling the fortress, and Blank answers the phone, and he can trace it. And he knows where Lois and John are, and of course Superman is there. Superman recovers from having the mountain jumped on him from issue 4, and he once again engages Blank in an attack, and we see that Superman also has other people at the fortress in the Himalayan mountains, 2 characters by the name of Dratana and Klon, who they're there. He's there keeping them safe. Dratana has this character called Dratana has a condition where she can't. Apparently, he's got to try to cure her. So
Yeah.
And we know that this Superman is not only he's not just storing prisoners or villains at his fortress, but he also is storing people there that he's trying to help.
Yeah.
So it's again, there's a lot of callbacks to what he did. He just can't help himself. He likes to help people, and he just he's always a superhero.
Yep. He's a hero of a league trying to save people. And actually pretty cool. Oh, speaking of the break power, during the break power did actually have so they can hang that shot actually help actually Superman by using actually this mech I think. I do the ship with a mech I don't really tell. I don't know it blank through the giant robot. My bad. I got that mixed up. But you got to fight blank, eat better actually, but Hang Shot actually saved the day by using the ship's weapon systems and continuing on to fight blank. It's actually pretty cool, badass scene about being and actually Superman.
Almost like cube ratings.
That's too many show playing and playing out pretty cool.
Maybe not now, obviously.
I've been two other people. Okay, the two other people we don't learn about them already, but we play about more of an action rebirth. But I think the course of Superman try to be a hero, even over and on, he's still at the day. It's awesome. Oh, by the way, also about how we go to New Mexico to this other guy who just got out of prison, and this news people show up. Why did news people they want this guy? Apparently, they want to do the TV show. I forgot what the TV show is called. Tell you the truth, it's not important. Apparently, he got the new suit. Oh yeah, let's go. You're a man very badass. We didn't leave a show, but I get it. It's all about the criminals. But anywho, we got back to Iron Insurance and jump back to the Iron with Hank Henshaw had the Oblivion set.
And we also have a very key scene where John, near the end of the issue 5, John overhears Lois and Clark talking, and he overhears them talk about whether or not to tell him that he's Superman. And John finds a Superman shirt in an old chest trunk, which is interesting because John finds an old Superman shirt in the old chest trunk, and it's actually it's a little reminiscent of issue 8. So even though it takes place in issue 5, it reminds me of issue 8.
I got that moment adorable. That's cute because what is there? She said corner for with man because in container they're actually trying to get you to her. They're yours. They need her alive. They're going to smoke her out. I'll get cool back to Steven's time and also make sure your identity are back to the secret. Ow! Can't go out there again. Then again, quite. I'm sorry. Okay, that's gonna be fun. I didn't want to let John have my sense, so I took him with me. The band didn't know when I rushed him. I went no scam. Wouldn't pick up the street. We were but the word on the zero. Yeah, bring man. And again, boss, show you. I guess John had heard up his during a clear message. Yep. The poor boy attack on the robot in the gang and put for one of the most evil men in the Yemen had. Right question on Brown. We warned you all the time, I didn't see how we get to it.
On the back.
And John divided share after with the Simpson at the pay all. Which, also the show John is doing a super hearing.
Have you seen the ones
Meaning that John divided after more with powers. Which is pretty cool.
There's like a diagonal wood post.
It is nice when you do see how the drawing has been done for John in this issue as well.
Yeah.
How it's slightly different to some of the early issues.
Yeah, with Jorge Jimenez. I love Jorge Jimenez, all Jorge Jimenez, always have always will. But he already Young John actually adorable at the in this series as well.
We already have a lot of wire stuff, and we'd be able to see like the greenery out there. But you can
So are we ready to start off with the next issue 6?
Yeah, and just to build on what Tevya said, that the mistress arrives on Earth and she asks and senses the stone and asks for her armor. And so once again, it's further teasing as to who this mysterious woman is who is looking for the Oblivion Stone, and that brings us into issue 6.
Yep. After the no card go about the Lord I'm in before when we see John, about one how super healing. With the conversation I did, the sniper guy trying to go out John and Lois, which I think a very cool cover. Which goes to a flashback in less than a year ago. Yep, issue 6. I love the cover. Very foreshadowing.
The scene is the opening flashback sequences. Lois Lane is upset that the New 52 Lois Lane outed Superman.
Yeah.
And there's a wonderful 2-page sequence in this issue 6, where Superman is using his super hearing to filter out all the noise to try to locate Cora Benning, who is the publisher of Lois Lane's expose and Intergang.
Yeah, it's pretty cool in my opinion. Also, and we're going to find everything. The flashback they show you with the Superman Chicken and review, it's actually very meta because it's why. I just see I don't hear that. That's said it would be a boot and how she get on girl. That is so funny because I think ironic. Because even pre-flapper Lord sending video was a bad idea. And that's hilarious.
Yeah, another good thing with this art, especially around Superman, I like what they've done in regards of like showing his super hearing and also almost showing it like a bit of a sonar.
Yep.
When it's being used.
Yep.
Well, and that comes up in quite a few panels, as well as the nice double-page spread, which we see.
Yeah, she probably you should be able to find out the phone basically. We had it pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, also try to call it you use the phone to help Superman actually find the song basically called the phone. We have to pay all these heroes and call out the work as a team. Awesome.
That's true.
Also we see John in school library looking up the new video Superman and his exploits. Where is the Superman day being revealed? Oops. Yeah, as I said, this story takes place in the Superman True Vlog, and yeah, if you are living the Superman True Vlog, you get the weapons. We have to eat people.
Superman zeroes in on Cora's unique ringtone for Lois Lane, and I found it funny that the ringtone that Cora had for Lois Lane was to the tune of "She Was a Cool Woman," and that's interesting. And so Superman can zone in, can tune in his hearing when he heard the ringtone, and I think that was pretty cool, and the way that was timed, and so he could immediately locate where Cora was located and where she was held captive. And I found it really stupid that the Intergang goons never destroyed Cora's cell phone. I thought that was really kind of stupid, but there's been a number of little glitches in the writing here. You know,
I just said,
Dan Jurgens had to write the goons as being really dumb that they wouldn't destroy the phone. They had to write Lois for being stupid for going to Cora's place in the first place after being attacked by Intergang. There's a couple of some things that the characters did that were stupid that were necessary to move the plot forward, but those are minor criticisms.
To be fair, these goons are always stupid in the game. They're always basically all idiots. I'm at the all for it. Because if it's bad to be idiots, I'm all for that. Because that makes sense. Because bad guys are always morons. They always screw up. Well, you're the leader. When you're the leader at the burn, you're a genius. When you're a henchman, you're a moron. But I'm actually all for that. It's funny. Anyways.
really jacking up my hands lately.
We were like
It's like endless constant march.
There's a sideshow scene with BlackRock and the Badass Nation. We should mention that a character called BlackRock was introduced in issue 5, who was a prisoner who was just previously released from prison, and he was recruited by a reality TV show called Badass Nation. And their idea is to give him a supervillain armor and try to set up a scene at a bridge where they would almost like a movie set create a fake battle sequence in order to make a reality show, and that would play a role in the subsequent issue, in issue 7, and it would cause a distraction for Superman when he's trying to fly back and rescue Lois and John being attacked by Intergang members at the Lancaster Elementary School. So it's a lot of this issue was once again set up for issues that would come afterwards, and it's interesting here that this issue does end with Lois and John being kidnapped by Intergang agents and interrogated, and you know that they're threatening John, and once again it's building up tension to the reader because you're wondering if John is ever going to start to manifest some superpowers. And so the tension's building so that when he finally does reveal some of those powers due to the emotions that it causes in him, and again, emotions seem to draw out John Kent's superpowers. Dan Jurgens does a really effective job not only creating the character development for John, but linking that character development and the emotions he experiences with the evolution of his superpowers.
After Intergang set the show on fire, literally, because they want to kill Lois because they were of exposure to their organization. Because let's face it, mobsters don't care about the evidence; they want to kill witnesses. Which actually very actually smart, dark. But that kind of mentality the new unit don't create any. But oh boy, we get to my favorite part in John when John said I want the truth. I think very cool when John be at the ropes. It's awesome. Oh, also the story now we ought to see the villain badass guy. I forget his name. He's not important. And but the reason why this villain tried to wait to destroy because this badass TV show want this villain to destroy the bridge. Why? Because the reporters are idiots. Wait, this TV show actually was made because they're morons. Actually, you know what? If he's any bad nation, I think would make no sense. But I said my favorite part when John had to bring out the rope. He said, "Oh, I want the truth. I want to tell you who I am." It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's a good scene because John is once again he's showing some of the traits he inherits from his mother because he's so bloody curious. John asks Lois, why does Dad look so much like the guy who is Superman? And why do you look so, Mom? Why do you look so much like the woman who outed Superman? And he starts to cry, and he tells them, he confesses to Lois that he overheard what they said the night before, and his anger and frustration comes out, and his anger when he's tied up with Lois, he's tied up with his mom once they're captured by Intergang, and he uses his super strength manifests itself, and he breaks out of the ropes on the chair.
Yeah.
They're locked in a shed at the Lancaster Elementary School, and he breaks out, and the Intergang members want to kill them, so they want to burn down the shed to kill Lois and John before they report back to Bruno Mannheim. And while they're doing that, what happens is while they're doing that, it ends up that he reaches for the door handle, and it's really hot, and of course he doesn't get burned. And so you see, not only does he have super strength, but he also has invulnerability and imperviousness to harm, and that's also manifested itself. And there's a great scene. My favorite scene is Lois Lane finally having that realization that, oh my God, you've got superpowers just like your dad. And it was a really good scene, and that's how actually issue 6 ends.
Yeah, it's just saying that John basically like near the fire and say like no. Johnson, I quote, "Don't you talk to me? Wait, no, not so bad. I can do this. What do you mean? You are." Oh, yeah. Well, we know that her son actually had the same power as her husband. We had a very cool, very moment time at this series, and John really he had the same power as dad. It's awesome. Which, okay. If I can go off script for a sec, basically this entire series reminds me so much of Superman Returns, but it's so much done better because Superman Returns, that movie was bad, disappointing, but I'll give that movie some credit. That movie did have some interesting ideas. The one thing that came out of the movie that I'm for with Superman had a son, and I think the idea could have worked at the end of the movie. It failed miserably, unfortunately, but it could have worked. But the thing that we got in the movie was disappointing. But this series, this concept, but then ton better.
Not only that, it does become a big wake-up call for Lois herself, seeing that John does have these powers starting to manifest.
It's actually pretty cool. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, you ready for the next issue?
Oh,
we're nearly done.
Why don't you start us off, Keelan? We haven't heard a lot from you lately.
Yeah, it was kind of just
Alrighty.
Story.
Well, let's start off with the nice looking cover.
Yep. With Blackrock attacking Superman.
Yep.
Blackrock is the guy with the armor.
Hold up.
Oh,
Hold up there.
Okay.
And of course, we know that Lee Weeks worked on the cover.
Yep.
And looking at the variant isn't too bad either. And of course, another flashback into the past.
Yep.
As we see Lois, John, and of course, John's got some toys there.
Yep, the Flash and New 52-Man, which is adorable.
Yeah. And I like in this we start off, who do you think's faster, Superman or Flash?
Yep. Right.
The big fan question.
Yeah, which is adorable. I'm pretty Superman, John. No question. It would be more fair if Flash is. So, because you ain't got 10 power, you fly, bench, steer, and stuff. Flash can do it, run, and super fast. So, you should win. That actually hilarious, because that does make a ton of sense. Because Flash, even if you make fast, Flash is faster. Because he's so fast, man, alive, illusion.
We also get to see a bit of a intimate scene with Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
And of course, we return back to the present, and John Samuel Kent is helping to save Mummy Dearest.
Yeah, by basically opening the door. Literally by shoving it at the open. With even John didn't know how to do it. Even John didn't know how to way he did it. It said,
One interesting thing about this scene too is Nick clothes aren't burned.
yeah, no,
You noticed that?
I did notice that.
I wouldn't mind some of that material.
I guess that John's clothes not getting burnt, but Lois, she's human, so
Jumping into the next fold out scene, next page, and we're back at Roosevelt Bridge.
with Superman find Blackout basically.
Yep.
With Blackout said, "You ain't human." Didn't make running Blackout. Only man, I stop you. You're a pretender. A woman. I just do it. You can't really say you're not judging, but then for me, who would shoot on there that arm that makes you strong, makes you weak, and take you away and you get nothing. It's awesome. Like, take nothing, like.
And also where he learns that it's basically a part of a friggin' stunt for TV.
Yeah, it's a TV show. You were going to kill with the story that was to sell beer and answer tablet. With my phone, with the block of road. Unbelievable! Really poor baby black going to the ocean with anti-horrorist.
And moving to basically half a world away in the next couple of pages to where we see Hiatus
Yep.
Looking and searching for
The stone.
the stone again.
Which he actually finds.
Yeah,
Well,
a part of it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I completely forgot. Near the end of the right issue, Hyperman did show up. And, I probably put it out there. Really give it to me. Yeah, I did at the near the end of issue 5. Well, I think that issue 6, I think. She's showing this issue. The last issue. Completely forgot about that part. Oops. My apologies. Anyway.
Not only that, we also get to see how this mob is so cruel that they would go out of their way to knock off Lois and John.
Yeah, they're trying to kill me today.
Only to have someone come in and save them. Woohoo!
Superman.
Lovely scene.
Yeah.
After the save.
But the gas really explodes and kills the Indian invasion. With where Carter John the Corey dies, which makes sense because John getting dead by now is fun, which makes sense.
I like Superman's frustration with the reality TV show. He's very upset that he got distracted. He almost wasn't able to save Lois and John from Intergang because of the distraction that was caused by BlackRock and the Badass Nation TV show and the fiasco that happened on the bridge. He was very upset about that, and he makes another reference. He says, "No wonder this world seems so foreign." Because he's shocked, like, are you kidding? He figures this is all for TV. And, he links it all as just not understanding this new world in many ways. And of course, it's the new 52. And it's interesting. It's just another observation that Superman makes. But despite the fact that the world is darker and more edgier, Superman still does the right thing. He still takes the time to help people, to save people. And even if it means potentially, making his own family second choice, and he's holding off on saving his own family to help others, and it's just typical Superman. It's well written by Dan Jurgens, and again, it's another good issue, and I really like Hiatus too. I think I love Hiatus because She's just plain sexy. I think she's hot. She is hot.
She's hard to give like royally because she didn't give a damn about anyone. All she gave was the stone. She actually was badass. She actually reminded me particularly of a female Conan the Barbarian. Except a lot more deader.
Actually, one good quote that comes up in this when they're trying to talk to John, and no doubt anyone can sort of relate to this. Our priority has been keeping you safe, John. Except Mum's publisher, no one knows, and even she doesn't know about me.
Yeah.
Of course, he makes up. Of course, he addresses the point that, like, some of the things in life aren't fair, which is a very true point.
Yeah, it's true.
But at least you can see, as parents, they're also doing their best to comfort him.
Yeah.
I love the fact too that what really stands out is John technically only discovers his father's secret identity when Superman saves him. So Superman actually saves Lois and John from being shot by Intergang, and that's the moment when John discovers and has confirmation that his dad is in fact Superman. And Superman feels really bad about it. He feels like he betrays his own son because him and Lois wanted to tell John and share that information with him as a family and not have that revealed to John at such a traumatic moment.
Yeah, especially if they try to kill him basically, which that's another dark role, but it makes sense because it's dark, but even Superman is even dark. But if I go back to the bad thing, if it's I'm sorry, I know we keep going backwards, step forward, but when Superman go at the bad thing, he's short after the truck and the camera, which if you can see. All the damn man life a TV show. No one watches it anymore. Look out there, or John, and if I say it might get ugly. But that's hilarious because I'm assuming at this one because reality TV shows, they're all garbage. Like, they're all pointing anyway, they're all big reality crap because why the hell would this guy even work with a reality TV show? That's hilarious. But anyway, let's get to the big one. The other thing I want to get to. John talked to his own father and said, "One guy, I'm kind of trying to kill it, and you're some guy Superman." John really upset, but upset when I've been wanting to do my whole life. Yeah. I know this is hard, John, but Scott, never forget what you just did. But forget what he did. Oh, yeah, Superman figured out and John had the same power like his father, which will explain that we were trying to John put his hand right in the fire. For quite some time, and I'm going to let out better laugh. Don't forget to Oh.
Yeah.
Oh boy. That's hilarious.
There's some lovely scenes that are actually shown towards the end. With Lois, Clark, and also John. Also, with him admitting that it's really cool that his dad is the Superman.
With Superman had to explain it,
but not the Superman of the planet that they're on.
Yeah.
I love the word that Superman uses when John asks him about, who is, what's going on, and Superman just says it's complicated. It's complicated.
It is complicated.
It's very complicated, and it would, even those of us who've read a lot of Superman comics would agree it's complicated to explain. So it was a perfect expression by Superman to John at that time. He just mentioned, well, it's about parallel universes and it's complicated.
Yeah. With even Superman complicated, with John said, that's what Gordon always said when they don't want to talk about it. It's complicated. And John, in this case, it's true. Even more than we can sort of comprehend, or you try to explain it to you. With John, he tried to answer, what do you do, Granger? He didn't that was good. I can hear you through the walls. Somewhere in the man. Yeah, John had to learn power of super. You have to do a super hearing, which would also weapon in the I think issue 6. I think I forget what issue that issue. With it all come back full circle. It's pretty cool. With John that you shoot that egg. It's all my Superman, but you want him. I don't get it. So how do I put this? Have you ever heard the fear of other universes? Very much like ours, but so differences. Hell, universes? Okay, John. Well, your mom and I are from a universe like that, but with an Earth very much like this one. But that universe is gone now. That's where we end up. This is home, your home. But that's where Henry you saw that was about this world goes rain. About this world Superman, not Daddy. We didn't want to be in that way, so we worked secretly. We secret anything. Dad, you? You know back, son. That's not what your mom has done. Why do you lie? Why do you tell the truth? Our play always has been keeping you safe, John. Except for Mom Pumpkin, no one knows. Even she doesn't know about me. What do you mean that I you know who I was? I could do stuff too. Honey, until today we had no idea. Yeah, but basically Lois and Clark, they were surprised that John even had powers. They assumed that he's even no boy. Which actually doesn't make sense when you think about it. Because, okay, do that thing in there with the Supergirl stuff, the Supergirl show. And Supergirl, Rain in that show had a child. But that child doesn't have any powers. Meaning, if Rain was created by his cult, I don't know Rain's history in the New Fifty comic. I don't know that character. Why didn't the child have power as well? Like in Supergirl show. I don't know. It's one that Lane wanted to be competing, but my point of Jonathan was this scene of it fantastic because it does explain the whole conversion stuff. It's actually pretty cool. In my opinion, when Clark tells John about the whole conversion stuff. Oh, also we go to the Living Stone when Superman had a vision of the Living Stone. With all this death and murder from these two factions. Actually, we got with an axe. Which is very, very interesting.
Well, we ready to make a start on issue 8 then?
Well, kind of. There's one.
Kinda.
Before issue 8, where Clark gets a vision of this violence and murder, and we see Hyper interrogating with his hands up. He said, I know what you're having. You lied. I should kill you now. I did not do so until I had answered. Fool! You have no idea what the women said came up. So I can sense that you use it. So lovely one, where's your mate? And she finds the river ceremony in the fourth disorder. And that's how issue 7 ends. With the Living Stone still trying to force her. Well, having a Living Stone. Yeah, I really want that stone. Why does he want the stone? We have no idea. I see that's one question we know to answer that. Weird.
Okay, and now up to
Issue 8.
last issue,
Yep.
which Comic Boom is showing.
Issue 8 is, of course, the iconic final issue. There's the classic final. This is the cover. This is a well-known cover. It's actually even. I think it's even worth $10. This cover because a lot of people seem to like it. So it's a great cover, and it harkens back to some of the scenes in the series where Superman does give at the beginning of issue 8. Superman gives young John his cape. And of course he tries to fly and he falls flat on his face, and it's kind of funny. And this issue opens up for the very first time. We get John Kent as the narrator at the beginning of this issue. It's John Kent. Young John Kent is the voice who is narrating the beginning part of issue 8, which is it
Okay.
shows just how far John has progressed as a character. He's not only grown, but he's grown enough that now we're getting more John's perspective as the narrator in the story, which is quite interesting. And we then move forward where Superman finally confronts Hiatus, and it's revealed that it was likely that the Oblivion Stone that was giving Superman visions at the end of issue 7. So when Superman was trying to have a conversation with John and explain things to John and saying it's complicated, he wanted to finish that conversation, but he couldn't. Unfortunately,
by his mother.
Because the Oblivion Stone was talking to him, and now we don't know why the Oblivion Stone was talking to him. That's not really revealed, but it does draw him out. And Hiatus states that the stone has bonded with Hank Henshaw, and that upsets Hiatus because she says it's like bestowing godhood on a grain of dust.
Yep, well, that's correct.
It explains how Henshaw survived the journey through space. So the reason why Hank Henshaw was able to survive the journey through space was because the Oblivion Stone bonded with him, and it actually gave it, and that's why the rest of the crew likely died. They weren't bonded with the Oblivion Stone like Hank Henshaw was.
Yeah.
So at least we get some explanations for maybe how Hank Henshaw may have made it as far as he did, and why this Hank Henshaw in this era is not necessarily going to become the cyborg Superman, because it's because of the Oblivion Stone.
His life.
Right. My favorite scene in this issue was when there's a number of scenes, but there's a great battle sequence between Hiatus and Superman. Hiatus clearly underestimates how powerful Superman is.
Yep.
and at one point Hiatus says to Superman, this battle can only end with one of us dead, so be it.
Yeah.
And Superman says to her, "Your words, not mine.
Not mine.
But you should know that it won't be me." And she actually disappears because she leaves the battle scene. So she kind of cowers away because she'll come back. Well, of course that's actually her leaving, and we never actually do see Hiatus again. We have to wait until after the series is over. She shows up, I think, later on in the pages of Action Comics.
I don't think she ever showed up in Action Comics, because for one, remember, she never showed up in Action Comics, period. She showed in this series, and then she's gone. Meaning we never get to see her ever again. Which is damn shame, because I think she was a great villain, might have been to be more at the end of the story.
Yeah.
Well, I might as well cover the last of the pages for this. And of course, thanks Maverick for turning up.
Oh, man.
Anyone else who's still present? Of course, it's after the fight, and we've got Lois and John with Ranger together
Yeah.
at the farm. And they're just waiting for Dad to turn up home. Well, John's waiting for Dad to turn up home.
We had to hug you, but the John, Superman is adorable.
Beautiful art scene drawn in there as he does finally turn up home. I love actually what they've done with the barn there in the picture. It reminds me of something from the Donna Superman.
Yeah.
If you have a look at it, it reminds me of the barn that was similar to the Donna Superman years that was done. Like in the movie itself, it reminds me of that particular barn.
With John and Dorothy talked to his own father with John saying, "Maybe you can do it." And then what did you have to that? Look over there, I got a little kid. That was right. Now you know, she was tell you about the plot of John, that's for sure. More than I was trying to tell you about this. They want to do it when you're older. quite a more anyway. So yeah, they show up in the bacon video with the chest, which that chest actually has a human tape basically, right to the door, which he has his own son. And bit long story short, soon after he tells them that this is true, I used to wear, I used to think that inspired people to be better. That even in darkness, they can hope. That's before others now join to believe. No matter what happens, how bad things might seem, or where we go, my one will be there. Nice, nice.
Hey, good to see you, Skip Nosh.
Hey, Skip now.
Skip and Tosh.
Yep.
Thanks for making it. We're
If you like to.
towards the end, but you should be able to go back and rewatch it after the stream's over anyway.
Yep.
To watch the parts you missed.
Yep.
I think we're pretty much at the end of this issue, aren't we?
Well, we're near the end of the issue, but there's one more line that I do want to talk about. With John said, "Yeah, I know. You will keep me safe. I tried it before I did work, but I kind of didn't try on that. I mean, relax. And she jumped and he fly. And said, yeah. Oh, boy. And that's how it ends with John Billy flying. Kind of. More like floating.
Yeah, there's a great scene there at the end where Superman gives his son advice. He says, "You can't make it happen. You can't just make flying happen. You got to just let it happen." So
yeah, relax.
It's great advice, and it's really good life advice too. Sometimes in life you can't force something to happen. You just got to let things be. You just got to be yourself. You got to let it be and let things flow through you, and everything will be all right. That's what the message is. Is just relax, enjoy life, let it be, and then you'll fly. And symbolically, it's a metaphor. So John Kent flying at the end and finally levitating. It's a sign of growth. It's a sign of growth and letting go. And when you let go, you grow as a person. And it's a significant step in John Kent's life. And it's a beautiful way to end the series.
Yeah. Actually, before we get to the ending of it, I could be recommending the issue. She went down over the New 52 stuff with she made a quote. There's over an awful lot of this one we got, but there's some pretty big differences. More hard and cynical, and of course, we're talking about, I'm Superman. You know, people didn't embrace him the way I had been. He's not quite gonna order. Well, you can see why we're gonna see the lives. My way of telling you not to worry. Everything's gonna be okay. When you're young, it's hard to put all the pieces together and make sense of the world. Oh my god, hard for adults too. That makes sense. Which I agree. Well, I agree with that line because. He's right. It actually is hard to keep the pieces together, even as adults. Which actually had a great line of being. Fortunately, I took care of the parent mom can't guide me. No matter born knowing what to do, John. We all need help getting pointed in the right direction. Mom and I are here to do that for you. But that's adorable. When that first kind of thing in real life, because real life is kind of like that. Like even as adult, we don't pick up the pieces.
That's very true, DTV. That's very true. Some of us actually take a little bit longer to learn, where others are just natural quick learners.
Yeah,
and that happens in life too.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you have a disability or not, it doesn't really matter. You could have a disability, be a quick learner in one thing, be slow in other areas. You might not have a disability, but you could still struggle in other areas of life. You could be struggling for that next promotion.
Yep. You be struggling when you're trying to make videos, trying to concentrate.
But just keep on trying.
Yeah.
Comic Boom was going to speak there. Go ahead.
I was just going to make a quick digression. At the end of issue 8, I didn't mention this in issue 7, but in issue 7 was the first issue where Lois refers to John as Superboy for the first time. It's the first reference to him as Superboy in his continuity. She calls him her little Superboy. And at the end of this issue, in issue 8, she says again, I always knew you were my little Superboy. And so issue 8 marks the second time that he is referred to as Superboy. So for those who are continuity buffs or moments of significance, I think that says something. The fact that, you know, he's referred to as Superboy for the second time at the end of issue 8.
Yep. Which I did prove my point that he was the Superboy with a failure, because I remember he did that to with John Wayne Kent. Who, John Wayne Kent? I remember, boy, John Wayne Kent, what the fuck am I made to sell me to a new divorce. And that character made no sense. He was just for the future, and he was a garbage character. This John, all done is better.
Well, it's been a really good stream today. It has run a little bit longer than usual, but that's neither here nor there. It's still been fun going through what is good compared to some of the storytelling around Superman today.
Yeah, it's better than just messing me up.
And after this one, we are going to cover some Peter J. Tomasi. Not now, but next week. We are going to cover some Peter J. Tomasi again.
With the defining Superman story, with that story,
Days of Superman. So, those who want to join us, that's what we'll be covering. And look forward to it. And we look forward to you being there. I want to give a big thanks to Dan Jurgens and also Lee Weeks on the art for this run.
Oh,
which we covered today.
Also, the very good. Tony Daniel, Aaron Lopez, and Neil Adams.
Yes, Neil Adams did actually cover a variant cover within the run.
Yep, issue 5.
And would you two like to show yourselves before we finish the stream?
You can follow me. You can type Smoker. I've been on Twitter. I don't want Google. Well, Google, but dead now. Follow me actually on Twitch and YouTube. I'm currently still playing Persona 5 Royal. As I can't record the new stuff because, well, PS4 won't let me record new stuff because of reasons. So I'm gonna probably do a new playthrough on a new game, maybe of XCOM 2. Also, I may do my review of Persona 5 Royal. Maybe tomorrow. Again, still do with that. As for some other stuff on my channel, I'm hopefully going to make review at these old trades. Again, I know I keep promising I'm reviewing Spider-Girl, but I'm so busy with a lot of other content, so I keep forgetting about that. As for annual reviews, coming in May, I'm going to review Jessica Dog Progress War. That comes out, I think, this coming week in May 5th. I can't be wrong by that. As for annual reviews, I'll think of something. As for news, well, I did a new video on the Superman anime movie news, with that does look awesome. As for anything else, I think that's all I got. I'll probably finish something. Kaboom.
I got. I actually haven't decided yet. Yeah, I still have God Country I want to review. I'm still working on that, and I've got. I'm going to be doing a live stream with Comic Joe and Dark Knight Nation on the hero's journey. Is the hero's journey dead in comic books? Does the hero's journey still apply? Based on Joseph Campbell's work on the hero's journey, and upon which all heroic stories, all stories are in some way based on the hero's journey. And have comic books abandon the hero's journey? That's what we'll be talking about this Sunday at around, I think, 5:30 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. So that's all I got coming up. And I just want to thank Tevya and thank you, Telium, for another good discussion on all things, Super Sons, in this case, John Kent.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you too as well for joining and helping out in the stream. I'll have to try to cover a little bit more of the comics as well myself in the next upcoming shows. Or even if it's part of it, at least it's better than nothing. On top of that, thanks to all the guests who showed up in chat, to all those who liked, shared, and subscribed over through this stream. I should be getting a trade paperback review up coming within the next couple of days. I'll do my best to sort of like drop into any live streams that any of you two might actually get up, even if it's in text chat. It's just a great way to support each other in this time of crisis.
Yeah. Thanks, COVID. Thanks.
But not only that, also remember to support your local comic store any way you can. Even if it's just buying a couple of issues of comics, just to still keep them around, because we want to enjoy that content, even if it's back issues or even if it's something that they ended up stopping at.
Yeah.
You're likely to find something that you will enjoy. It doesn't matter who the writer or who the writer artist is. We all have our favorites, and we all also have those we don't enjoy that much.
Yeah.
But that happens. That too is part of life.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Because we have good, we have bad ones, and we're all human, after all. We're just trying to get better crisis. So the best thing to do is support after your local comic stores and try to get them past this crisis. The best you can.
So we'll see you next week when we cover the final days of Superman. The scheduled stream has already gone up, and we'll see you then.
Catch you guys later. Take care. Stay safe.
See ya.